the Brady backroom dealing, channeling here? And you said something interesting. At first I said, what are we waiting for? And then there was a report out of Boston that there was negotiations going on behind the scenes. You said something different. Are there negotiations going on?
Well, I mean, theoretically, there's a possibility that this could be settled, and these suspensions under the various NFL policies from time to time are resolved without a full-blown appeal process or any type of court challenge. I just think in this case it's going to be so hard to find a middle ground because by all appearances, Dan, Tom Brady is determined to be exonerated and determined to fight until the end result is a zero-game suspension. On the other hand, think about Roger Goodell's experiences the past few years. He has been repeatedly overturned by someone else when he's gone too far with a suspension. And no one ever says anything about it. No one says the commissioner doesn't know what he's doing, he's unfit. No one says anything when he imposes a suspension and someone else says, you went too far. But if he doesn't go far enough, like last year with Ray Rice, what happens? Out come the pitchforks and the torches. So I don't know that Roger Goodell can afford to pull back. It's almost like he has to let this process go forward. It has to go to court, and it has to get knocked down by someone else, and then he has to be able to say, I take that ruling as a badge of honor because I went farther than the court system. I'm protecting the integrity of the game. So that's really the challenge here. Tom Brady's desire to have no games and the necessity that Roger Goodell not be perceived is not going far enough.
But he goes too far all the time, right? I mean, his track record shows that he always overpunishes except for with Ray Rice.
He's 0-4 in the last 4 high-profile suspensions where someone else came in and reviewed his work. Going back to the bounty scandal, all the suspensions for the players overturned. The Ray Rice indefinite suspension overturned. The Adrian Peterson suspension vacated. The Greg Hardy suspension cut from 10 games to 4. And no one ever criticizes him for that. That's what amazes me. No one ever says, oh, boy, the commissioner's too heavy-handed. The commissioner gets these wrong. He's not applying the rules fairly. People just shrug and move on. And I think that's why, from a PR standpoint, it becomes very difficult for the commissioner to pull back in any way on this 4-game suspension. And now what you're going to have, if it stays at 4 games, you're going to have the comparisons to the Greg Hardy outcome, with criticism coming either way. People saying, how can you equate what Tom Brady did to what Greg Hardy did? And people saying, well, how can you equate what Greg Hardy did to what Tom Brady did? And I don't see a good way out of this for the commissioner, regardless of what the outcome is.
Best case scenario. Is there a best case scenario for all involved?
No, I really don't think there is, because I don't think there's a vehicle for working out a resolution that everyone would accept. I mean, a 4-game fine, how would the public react to that, though? If the 4-game suspension becomes a 4-game fine and Tom Brady plays 4 games for free, he still gets to play, but he's not getting paid. And when you consider he's got a below-market salary, he's only going to lose, like $1.8 million to play 4 games for free. But I don't know how the public would accept that. And see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
All these decisions now seem to be so driven by PR. I don't know how the NFL confidently makes a decision that would entail taking that risk of stepping into another Ray Rice firestorm where everyone comes out and says, oh, my gosh, you went too easy on the Golden Boy quarterback, and that's the final straw. We need a new commissioner.
Is Brady's guilt secondary to the PR?
Well, I think the PR is driving everything right now for the NFL. From Brady's perspective, it's the determination to be proven innocent, and that's where the commissioner's in the minefield. How do we balance this? There's a report out there that a lot of people have criticized for many reasons, 243 pages with plenty of flaws. Do you abandon that? Do you step back? Do you hammer Brady? I think that PR took over early on, and actually getting it right is secondary to how people are going to react to it.
Yeah, who's got more to lose, though, Brady or the commissioner?
Well, I'd say the commissioner.
Really?
Because, I mean, look, is anybody going to feel any differently about Tom Brady, even if he gets, air quotes, exonerated? You're still going to have the Patriots fans that think he's innocent, and everybody else is going to think he's guilty, and he's never going to get away from that. It's going to be a permanent part of his legacy, whether he plays in those 4 games or not. For Goodell, if he doesn't go far enough, and we get back to the same point where we were last September, it's easy to forget because it's been 9-10 months now. I mean, it was pretty dicey there for a couple of weeks. He was in hiding. there really was a sense that this could all snowball out of control and he'd be out of a job. And it all started because he didn't go far enough with a punishment. Whereas when he goes too far, we never say anything. So that's a no-brainer. If you're the commissioner, you're never going to fail to go too far. You're always going to go too far. And if it gets overturned on appeal, big deal. I still got my job.